ready to start another episode of the Helm to Tower podcast. We're back. Hello, everyone. I'm Mike Burgess. I'm here with Auri O'Neill, as always, and returning guest Cam Koenig is here as well.
What's up, gamers?
That's right. We're doing good because we have actual Destiny stuff to talk about this week.
Whoa!
That's right. It's we had
something happened.
Yeah, stuff's happened. Because I think the last episode we did was right before the March Guardian Games update came out and all that mid-season that kind of like, I guess you call it a mid-season extended long mid-season update that hit. And now this week we've gotten some other news of news, the classic video game, like let's tease an announcement to tease
really taking
for a teaser
out of the Atlas playbook here. Really love to see it.
That's right. That's the Bungie is just following the marketing trends of Atlas as always. But yeah, we got some fun stuff to talk about with Destiny, and I think like at least to me, or maybe I'm hopeful here. But I feel like we are now finally going to get into the the kind of on ramp to the final shape hype train, so to speak. So we'll probably try and be doing more episodes here in the coming weeks, just because of what we learned in the TWAB and all that stuff this week, which we'll talk about. But before that, I guess we should try and maybe go in order because we haven't really had a chance to talk about any of the Guardian Games March update stuff. We don't have to spend too much time on this stuff because it's been out in the wilds for a little bit. But I am still curious about some of y'all's thoughts on that stuff.
I don't remember. Can we swear on this show?
Yeah, go. Yeah, absolutely.
Great.
Sure.
That skateboard fucking rules.
Yeah.
Dude. Oh my god.
The skimmer is sick as hell.
It's like the first thing in quite a long time that I have felt like, okay, I need to carve some time into my daily schedule to make sure I lock that thing down because I want to have it forever.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, it's just it's the shit I love about Destiny as a whole, where it's just when it's clear that somebody just went hey, let's just put a cool thing in this video game, and then they just went here a hoverboard, hell yeah, and then they just put a fucking hoverboard in Destiny because they can, and then it's just a cool implementation of it because they were because it's a cool implementation of it because it's always also it's just fun to use naturally, but also people have just found some way to make it completely batshit ridiculous, intentional or not on Bungie's end. People have figured out how to just infinitely grind through the air with this thing and just skip entire encounters and raids and dungeons. I even did it myself because another part of the update is they updated the loot in the prophecy dungeon, and I've done that a handful of times since that release. And I definitely you get to that Rainbow Road section or whatever it's called, and you can literally just launch out of the entrance of that and go right into a grind and just skip 50% of it. Even if you don't do some shenanigans to just keep your grinding going, you can literally just hop off midair and land on a platform real quick, pull it back up, and then just zoom off again and just go right back into a grind and just go through the entire thing. And it's just silly and fun, and then it's like a screw it, here's this cool fun skimmer thing to use. It's fun.
One of those it's one of those things that, because there have been people posting leaks about upcoming stuff for fucking as long as this game has been around mostly, but this is one of those things that even if I saw on a leak, I'd be that's fucking stupid. That's not why would they?
Yeah, this shit is
God,
real.
I'm so happy they did. Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's good. What was the first thing y'all did with your skimmer?
I grinded over the Hellmouth. I sent a video.
Me too.
In our
chat. Me too. Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the moon.
Big hole must jump over big hole.
Must leap over the hole.
Yeah. It works great.
Yeah. I expected to hit a wall halfway through or something. They're just nah, fuck it, just go, man. I'm
cool,
just
keep going.
Have fun.
I think once I had it, I think I was already in the prophecy dungeon, so I remember just Not even getting to the Rainbow Road part, but even just that big desert section, just like zooming around that and like jumping off learning how to like do the jump properly so you get a bunch of air, and then you can literally just hit, like I play on PS5, so I was just hitting the dumb D-pad to do stupid tricks and stuff. You literally just hit D-pad options and your character just does tricks on it because like of course they would, like it's fucking sick to just do some tricks on a hoverboard.
If you're gonna put that in the game and you don't build tricks into it, like what are we doing?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, like the animations, like the regular animations on it alone are just so great. Like when you pull it out, you like kick flip onto it.
Yeah, it's
just
so
flip onto
tight.
it.
It's so cool.
So sick.
Yeah.
It's very fun.
The sides dashes are like big twirls. Like, yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
I'm really curious of what other kinds of like boards they're gonna add into the game at some point. Because right now, if you don't know, like there's the Guardian Games one you can earn just by playing the Guardian Games stuff. So you get a trial one for doing like the very basic intro Guardian Games quest.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you might still be able to use that one post Guardian Games, or maybe I'm incorrect. It does say that on there. Okay. Yeah. So once you get that one though, you get like a quest to like unlock an exotic one, and then like there's like 3 options you have, and that's kind of I think been the whole debacle around Guardian Games with people trying to figure out the way to get that, and then people figured out a way to get it pretty easily early on. And then now that's kind of screwed a lot of people out of it now that are like trying to like figure out how to get it now, because everyone just got like super high scores, and you like I think it was like getting like the 10% scores of Nightfalls for a certain period of time, and like I will say I ended up being one of those people inadvertently, because I was the week I did like the first Guardian Games week, because I was like I had the whole week free already because I was about to start a new job, personal stuff disregarded though, but like I just did the whole free week, so I just played like a shit ton of Destiny because I knew that stuff was coming out, and was just like I'm just gonna get this now, and so I don't have to worry about it later. And so like I think I didn't even realize like the quest steps, and I was just doing Nightfalls a bunch to get medals and shit, and then it randomly just like I just randomly got it, and it was like sick. Nice. So I like didn't fully realize all the things that were going on with it.
They have like this. There's that, and then get a medal score, and then there's this third way about getting these bundle things that I have never seen.
I've completely. I know that that's something that they brought up that is new for this Guardian game, but it's also something that like I don't play Hunter, so I just don't engage with it.
Yeah, it's super convoluted, and like goes into the. I think we've talked about it on this podcast already about like Guardian Games has always to me been like the weakest of the seasonal events because of like I think the class v class stuff has just kind of I think it's ran its course for me personally like a while ago, and like it always has this kind of moment here where like every Guardian Games it feels like they have to do some like rigmarole to try and make it like competitive for each class. So like they're already kind of trying to hemorrhage finagle the numbers already out the get-go by doing that kind of stuff. That makes me kind of lose a lot of interest in the actual idea of the competition of these classes, because they are already like gamifying the numbers in a way that like tries to make it work. And I think it just loses a lot of that like competitive spirit or whatever to me. And not to mention like a lot of the stuff over the years have like just been like kind of whatever, because like I'm not that big of a PvP person, so like the idea of like the class v classes like it really was not like a whatever thing to me already. So like just having a strike where it's like, oh, I'm with like if I'm Hunter, I'm with 2 other Hunters, or if I'm with the Warlock, I'm with 2 other Warlocks. And more times than not, and especially right now, like with this season being kind of on a low state and not a lot of people playing, I feel like if I'm on a Hunter, I get other Hunters pretty easily. But when I play a Warlock, it's like I might get one other Warlock, or I just end up getting other classes because there's like not enough of those other classes showing up in those playlists anyway. So it's just like, I think like it just feels like none of this really feels like it matters.
On the first day of Guardian Games, I'm like, well, I don't want to play PvP because I am not a PvP player, and I don't really want to do a strike. so I guess I'm playing Gambit. And so I did the like class queue for Gambit, and I was sitting in the queue for like 7 minutes.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like,
Sounds
this,
about right.
I'm like, no, this like there was part of me that was just like, man, this is taking a while. And I'm like, no, I know exactly why it's taking a while.
Yeah.
It was very funny.
Yeah.
I did like 3 games of that, and I think I got matched with the same other 3 fucking warlocks playing that playlist at the same time.
Hell yeah.
Like 3 games in a row.
Stuck
it was
with
very
it.
funny.
Stuck with it.
My fear is like you get a team of Strand Titans on the other side, and it's like, well,
Oh, we did. It was
Yeah.
it was all that it was. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
basically
I guess-
whatever I queued in with versus
Just
a
a
team
bunch
of
of
4
Strand
Strand
Titans.
that just nuked the boss.
Or
And it
PvP.
was not fun.
PvP, it's just a bunch of bubble titans or invis
Yeah,
hunters or
absolutely.
whatever, and you're just like, what?
Yeah, so
No thanks.
I just do strikes and raids and lost sectors, and that's fine.
Yeah.
yeah, that is fine.
Or, as I have found, the most efficient way to get that 1200 medallion score is just watch a Twitch streamer for 2 hours.
Hell yeah. That's
Because each
Pull
like
it up on Chrome and then play Final Fantasy
right.
7 for 2 hours.
right,
That's
yeah.
what I
Or I'll just like leave it up while I'm like working during the day or something.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, like the diamond medallions are like 300 medal points out of like 1200, which is
yeah.
Jeff's kiss nice.
That is good. That's a good addition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm at like 930 something right now or whatever. I know I could just easily grind it out, but I could also just like, I could just wait a week and just get it by literally doing nothing, and that'd
Yeah.
be fine. But
Yeah.
Participate in
like-
Guardian games by not playing Guardian games. Perfect.
Right.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, I'm participating as an audience member.
Doing my part.
Absolutely. I like the like thematic thing they're going for with Guardian games. Like they're like definitely trying to evoke like a cool like Olympic style thing. Like that was
Yeah.
something that I liked in Overwatch also. Like I thought that was like a really cool thing that they did.
Yeah.
But I like I am like kind of with you too, where I'm like, I don't know if making like the entire player base a thing, like I wonder if maybe there's something you can do with like the Guardian Games Cup, where you have like a select like group of players doing certain things like during certain times or something, and you have like elected or like representatives of your class, and there's like something you can do to like rally support as the players. I don't know. I am just spitballing here, but
I worry
Sure.
that like feeds the narrative that content creators decide.
For sure.
it's
Yeah,
fashion
and
in the game. Right?
also
Yeah,
the more I think about
sure.
it, I don't trust the Destiny community to be nice whenever their class loses and it's directly somebody's fault.
yeah.
Hell, or
Also
whenever
that.
their class wins. So
That's also true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just like
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
I like Guardian games. Like I've enjoyed the activity in the past because like for a time that was the only place where strike scoring was. Now that is not the case.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Right.
Forgot about that. Yeah.
And it was like the first event that I ever like really got into on my Beyond Light year. In that like year where I was like getting really into Destiny and doing everything and actually like doing the grind. So it has like that kind of special place in my heart, and I love the aesthetic. Like the armor is always like some of my favorite, especially like this year's Warlock armor with like the bird wings.
Oh, it's good. Yeah.
Super good. Really,
Yeah.
really love it.
The
Yeah.
best ghost shells they ever make are in Guardian
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
They're bomb.
Pretty
The
much. Yeah.
the tennis
Totally.
ball one is still like an all-time favorite.
The Guardian games bond with like whatever design it ends up having feels like the only thing that's like, oh, this is like a real bond that you would like wear as
Yeah.
wear.
It's
Um,
they're all good too. Like they just
Yeah.
look really cool.
They're
Yeah.
cool. So like I like parts of Guardian games. I have always hated the weird Titan v Hunter v Warlock mentality just in the game baseline. And I always
Yeah.
hate stuff like that. So the fact that it brings it out more makes me livid, but you know,
Right. Yeah.
that's basically how I feel. I don't
Yeah.
like competitiveness in general. So
Yeah, I just think there's like they could figure out another way to do it than make it like just about the classes, because I do agree there are like some of the, like I think the aesthetic of Guardian games started off, I don't know if like the early Guardian game stuff I liked as much, but I think it's gotten like way better, like you said, like I think like this year's armor set and like last year's armor set I think are like some of my most, I think like especially like last year's, which was like I think that's when we got like the Tron-y looking armor.
Yeah.
Like that's some of my most weared armor across like all my classes. It's like they've gotten really good at making those cool looking armor sets for this particular thing. But I think it's like, I wonder if they could make it less so about, I'm trying to just think of like how they can make it so it's not just about the classes, so they don't have to like do the like class weighting like rigmarole stuff they do. But then I would look at like maybe they could have it be like, you know, something where it's still kind of class based, but it's like it's you know, well, granted we don't have like a Hunter Vanguard yet, but maybe they could tie it to like, you know, it's a thing between Zavala, Ikora, and you know, maybe if we do eventually get a Hunter, Vanguard, and Crow or whatever, they can kind of make these characters kind of the 10 poles, and then it is some kind of competition that way, rather than it being like strictly like it you know, they because there's such an enormously larger player base of Hunter players across the game. Like they always have to do this thing where it's like, all right, we have to like scrunch this around, and like they're like literally mid like Guardian games this year like did some kind of change to like have it so they like kind of like, you know, the weighting of the focus activities were not so weighed because of Hunters. But now I saw like apparently like, I don't know, it's people are thinking it's bugged again because it's been like super weighed to like Titans now for like the past few like days or weeks or whatever since they made that change. So like it just seems like they have to do this finagling, and that makes me like care even less about that competition aspect. But I am also seeing this similar came with Auri, where Auri was just like, I don't really care about this that much, this competitive aspect, the weird infighting Destiny community can have about playing certain classes. Like I've like cared about that so little for so long because I play all 3 character classes already for so many years. It's like hard to like be like, wow, you should be playing this, or like, this jump is terrible, and complain about this, and I'm just like, dog, that's like, it's really like this is really not that hard to play all these classes. It's or like doing this or that, whatever, and like
pisses me off.
Yeah,
it's
and like
insane.
yeah. And like I get it to an extent, because I will totally admit, like when I first got into this game years ago and like got into Destiny for the first time, like back in 2017, like I was one of those, like I picked Hunter because like you see like what the Hunter can do and how they move and do stuff, and it's just like it makes immediate sense as like a first person shooter game. So like I get it. Yeah. Yes, like I get it, right? But like I did that for a while, and then at a certain point just played the other classes and very quickly was just like, oh, okay, this is fine. This like I like, you know, I took like, you know, the like maybe like 30 minutes, not even to like just like move around on the other classes and figured out what worked for me. And like that's all you really have to do. Like it's not that big of a deal to just learn like, oh, this character floats this way, and this other class floats this way, and like that's all you really need to know. And like it's pretty
a lot of people
it's pretty
I read with,
easy to figure out.
Give me shit for literally the only jump that I use as a Warlock main is Burst Glide. I just have gotten so used to it, and they're just like, how the fuck can you do this? And I'm like, well, it's all I've known. So
yeah,
that's what I used to do too. I went down, basically burst, then down to strafe, in my opinion.
Yeah,
it's a little slower, but a little easier to control.
Yeah, I like going a little fast, and then I'm also of the opinion that like if I ever just need strafe glide, then I'll just throw on solar. It's fine. I'll just do heat rises. It's cool.
Heat rises.
Totally.
But yeah, like it is one of those things that I don't know. I, at the end of the day, have just kind of resigned myself to just viewing events as like, let me just like hop on, farm a little bright dust, you know, maybe get 100%. A couple rolls. I like that they're doing
low pressure.
Yeah. I like that they're doing the, what are they called? The Mementos.
Bright
I think
Dust
that
Mementos, yeah.
that's cool.
Mementos.
I think it's cool that they're doing the Mementos. I love
Yeah.
the Guardians game ones. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool that they're like doing that as a thing now.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm glad they're doing something with Mementos. I agree, because those were like a cool concept that I wish they like did more with it
every raid
all.
should
And
have
like,
a
yeah, like
memento.
that's where I feel too. Like every
or at least,
raids,
like, the master raid.
yeah, like raids, master raids, like they should be like a master dungeon or just like a solo. Doing a dungeon solo, get a cool memento for like soloing the dungeon
Absolutely.
or completing it or something. Like I think like maybe they haven't done too much of that yet, because they like something that did come up because of these is like you can only hold one at a time with those still. So I hope they do like adjust that where you can like at least hold a couple of them each or something. But yeah, like I'm glad they're at least like doing more of those, and like the events are fine ways to do that. But yeah, Guardian Games is what it is. I personally think it's just it is
It's Guardian
It's
games.
fine.
it's Guardian Games.
It is.
The true copium levels in me is hoping that like with this final shape shift into episodes, maybe they will take more time to maybe like really refresh these seasonal events in some way, shape, or form. And now that we're getting into it, like I don't maybe expect it right away. Like I still expect us to get although as much as I would like it, considering we're gonna get Solstice next, and like man, it'll kind of be a bummer if this comes around. It's like, here's the EAZ baby, woo, and it's like, oh god,
Yeah. Solstice is, I think, the like one event where I'm just like, I just don't have to engage with any of this.
yeah.
actually.
I've really lost
the rest
the
of
drive.
them. I am at the very least like, yeah, I'll play it. You know.
Yeah,
No, that's how I feel about the
Yeah.
Halloween one.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love Festival of Lost just for the vibes, just for the tower
like the
music.
vibe.
the
Honestly.
Tower
vibes
music
is very good.
Yeah, it's great.
I think that
I'm
the
definitely-
hate
writing.
those lost sectors. I hate
No,
them
that's fair.
so
I
much.
miss the Haunted Forest so bad.
Yeah, the Haunted Forest was fun. I definitely think it was like slower, but I think they could have like updated that to make it more
It
interesting.
felt
but
like
I
a
know
little
they,
bit more engaging. I think.
yeah,
They had
in
the
certain
Sunset
respects.
Mercury, so.
Yeah.
In certain respects, yeah, it was. Yeah, I wouldn't mind them. Yeah, again, I wouldn't mind them like revisiting some of that stuff and just like as we get into this like now like episodic cadence and seeing if they can like mix up those events more than they have in previous years going forward. That's the hope, but I know they've really been focused on this Into the Light thing, which we're going to talk about, and now probably Final Shape soon after that. So I wouldn't be surprised if like Solstice ends up being kind of what we expect.
Yeah.
We just killed the witness. How do
Unfortunately.
we celebrate the EAZ, baby?
Back
Yeah,
into the
so
NC.
we make a giant bonfire, and the smoke
Throw that-
looks like his head.
Throw that bonfire. Whoa. Yeah. Oh God. But yeah, besides that in the update, I did, like I said, I did a lot of prophecy. I did like a quick couple GMs with a couple clanmates and got an adept dropped of the grenade launcher. It doesn't seem especially great, if I'm just being honest, just because like the rolls on it I think could have been just a little bit better, but like I got, what did I get? I did get incandescent on it and something else. And it's like it's like the double fire from the
Oh, that's right.
from like the one, but I think like honestly I think that one is still like would be a better choice because it has like some of the void perks on it. It can get like concussive, I think is what they changed that to, right?
Yeah,
Kind of stuff on there. So if you needed like a good adept blinding grenade launcher and it's solar, like I think you could use it, but yeah, I still think like overall it's just kind of like okay, sure. I'm more interested, which by the time this episode's coming up, the next weekly reset will be the new Stasis Slammer sword. So I really would like to get one of those.
Sword with bait and switch on it. What have we done?
Yeah.
What have we? How did we get
We're gonna
here?
burn the world. It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
It's so whirlwind, or like the
vortex frame too. It's gonna be good.
It could be great. Thick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Depth.
could be the Crota-killer, as they.
I mean,
as
it
they
might
say.
be actually.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, no, I know. It's
Yeah.
I'm excited to find out.
Yeah. So yeah, that'll be a cool one. That'll be a cool thing to chase after. The last thing from the update, Auri as our PvP pundit here. I'm gonna leave it to you. I'm gonna leave it to you.
PvP correspondent Ari, take it away.
Do they fuck PvP, Ari? Yes or no?
I don't. I really don't know. I don't know for sure. I like want to see. The thing is, like the numbers aren't live in private lobbies, so like where a lot of YouTubers do their testing.
Sure. Okay.
They can't do that, so they just have to play and see how it feels. Like the things I noticed, right? You got the special ammo meter, which persists throughout death, right? I like that you can like stack up, you can save up special ammo. So if you just wanted to save it to the end of the match, you could do that. You don't drop special when you die. Your guns are still loaded to what they were when your special ammo weapons specifically to what you had before. It made glaives feel a little bit better for me personally, because then I could like build up to 6 shots. Yeah. And then it's like, all right, now I have like a little bit to work with to at least get into an engagement for longer than 3 seconds.
Right.
The biggest thing I felt, and I only played like 3 or 4 matches of like the regular PvP mode, because I still am unsure if the Supremacy Guarding Games mode has any of these changes in it.
The last I heard was like apparently there was that's why they like disabled like the like class matchmaking at some point was because if you went into Supremacy and did like the class v class matchmaking for that, it did not have that the new PvP parameters or rule set are in it. And that's where I think I messaged our group that like first or second day of that update and was just like this sure doesn't feel like a new PvP to me. What's going on? Because I literally just loaded into
an email.
Yeah,
or what?
Loaded into a match on that the Trials of the 9 looking map or whatever, and was like Eternity, and was like playing normal PvP, and then I just remembered like shooting around, and then just like shot a guy and a green ammo brick popped out. And I was like, didn't they say that was different? And then a couple minutes into the match, there's just like people going insane with their supers, which I know like Supremacy like has like its own little rules that make it so like I think you like you get like super back, but it was definitely like I feel like you should be seeing this many supers in a single match. What's going on here? And then I messaged our group and then pulled up Twitter and immediately got a Bungie help tweet that was just this is fucked. And then I was like, okay, so I was like, okay, fair enough. So
I played outside of that mode to get more of like the experience that I was looking for. I played a lot of Supremacy as well and deeply regretted my decisions, at least in that regard. But I don't know. Like the thing I noticed with engagements is like there's a lot less flinch from body shots. And if somebody was shooting you and missing headshots, you could tell way more. And there was a lot more wiggle room and forgiveness within that. Some more primary ammo engagements, right? Like primary weapon engagements. Yeah. Because you couldn't just like spawn shotgun rush 2 people and then just shoot people until you died to just
sprint around the map with shotguns. Because I did play a couple control matches after like I think like the day or so after that, and even I definitely at least noticed like a lot more primary like fights, a lot more people. Like I was using a pulse rifle and an auto rifle in different matches, and it was like definitely noticed a lot more of just that, where it's like a lot more like peeking corners and shooting from distances, or wasn't as many people just like full blown sprinting around corners and sliding and stuff.
I have not jumped in yet, but like anecdotally, just from hearing from other people, this seems like relatively positively received. I think
that's good. Yeah, I haven't heard anything either way. So
I have like seen more people like willing to engage in the PvP side of things, just like entirely just from like talking to a couple of people. Then again, the people I talked to could be outliers, but whatever, right? But I don't know, like the changes that they make feel like something that I would be more interested in engaging with as somebody who does PvP when I absolutely have to. I think the last time that I actually like consciously played a lot of PvP was whenever The Immortal came out that Trials weekend.
Yep.
Last time I ever really kind of engaged with that. So I don't know, like it seems neat. Like they seem like solid changes. People seem like, I mean, I feel like I would have heard or seen people just yelling about how like all these changes are dog shit, yada yada, if like they were, you know? Like it feels like
those people exist.
Sure. Yeah.
Right.
I spend too much time on Reddit nowadays, but
God.
generally
Jeez.
avoid. You know, there's good trans communities on Reddit. They're good
Sure,
places
that's
too,
fair.
I promise. But I also have the Destiny of the Game Reddit that like will occasionally pop between those, and it's like, ooh, this is the darkest timeline, isn't it?
Yeah.
We really are living it.
Oh man, that I think that subreddit I think was actually what got me to stop using Reddit. So
yeah, I completely understand.
Yeah.
I saw one thing that was like resoundingly negative, and it was not well upvoted, let's say. So
sure.
Maybe that was an outlier post, so that's really all I've had to go on. But yeah, I didn't get to play Trials over the weekend. I wanted to, but I just didn't get around to it because I wanted to get the trace rifle. But I heard good response to the passage of Persistence, which is like the new Trials passage. It'll let you get an adept drop even if you don't go to the lighthouse. But then you can't turn the card in for another one. You'd have to do it again. But I haven't tried that yet. I understand how it works at this point, but
I don't think I do. It is so strangely worded, I feel like.
It was very poorly worded.
Yeah, it's probably worded. I definitely saw the confusion, and then they had to clarify a bunch over the weekend. So basically it is you have to in order for it to like basically be like the thing people want, you still have to get that initial like win, or is it 2 wins? I think
you need the initial win, or else it will flaw the card. So like,
correct.
And then you just reset because you have no wins anyway.
Right.
But technically, you would need to get 2 wins in a row out the gate, which, to be fair, should be your 2 easiest matches.
Right.
And then from that point, when you lose, you would lose the second win off the match. And if you lose again after that, nothing happens. You just keep going.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
But then you keep playing until you get to 7 wins. And every time you lose 1 win. And if you lose again after that, again, nothing happens. You just have to re-earn it back.
Yeah. And then if you make it all the way, if you make it all the way to that, you're not going. You're not going to the lighthouse, but it'll give you an adept drop.
Yeah,
I think
that's nice. Okay,
yeah, you just get a single adept drop. So it's as long as as long as you can just kind of power through that. Like I honestly see me doing. So I would be willing to maybe just do that card just when they like put a new armor set in there and I go sicko mode to get the new armor. Like I'm going to do this armor. Let me just grab this persistence one and maybe I'll get an adept. If I don't, I don't. That's fine. But like maybe
I'm already going to be playing just a shitload of games anyway.
Exactly.
Like, might as well at this point.
But but I definitely don't see myself doing that all the time.
I think that now that I've had that explained to me, that's definitely the way that like I would prefer to engage with Trials, because like I do not care about going to the lighthouse at all.
Yeah,
I just want the cool gun, you know.
Yeah, same.
And like that's all right. I have been flawless once, and I'm like, all right, cool. I don't really care to do this again.
Yeah.
Yep.
But again, it's just like the general PvP sentiment. I didn't see too much of it either, but I have seen like a little bit of both sides to it, and but I think mainly it seems generally like you said, Cam. It seems pretty positive. It definitely got the vibe that like. It feels like it's a lot of changes for people. Like there's a little bit there for people like us who like engage in PvP when we want to engage with it. But it seems like a lot of it was also like, we want to keep the people who are core to PvP playing this and want to engage with it and make this like a mode that's kind of for them. And like it it has them engaged in it more rather than just like making it more open for everybody, I guess. That's kind of how I saw it. And, could be, and people being like, I could see how that could turn people off just hearing like it is the PvP updates for the PvP people. And like, as I'm kind of a whatever about PvP. But yeah, like I played a couple matches and it didn't, I was just kind of like, okay, like I saw like some general differences to it, but it was like not like, it didn't suddenly make me go like, oh my God, I'm going to play this all the time. And to be fair, like, I don't think they could really do much ever in that respect, because that's just not what I come to Destiny for.
Yeah.
I think I definitely will definitely have probably more in-depth thoughts potentially whenever Iron Banner is, which I think is until like April or May, because that's probably when I will
First week of April,
try and that sounds right, because that's probably when I'll try and go back and play a lot, because I do want the some of the multi-mock and the other strand, the strand waveframe grenade launcher will also be up, so I definitely want to play killer, I want to play, end up playing a bunch of Iron Banner whenever that pops off. But yeah, overall though, like the March update was pretty good.
The solar changes, excellent.
Yeah,
they crushed it. They absolutely crushed it. The Ember, I think it's Empyrean, is the one that like lets you extend radiance and restoration effects. Now that's like based on what type of target you kill. Excellent. The fixing restoration and fire sprite pickups and stuff, excellent. All of it's great. 2 thumbs up.
Heck yeah. I also I liked the what was I I've lost my train of thought there, but I think most of the updates were fine. Oh, what I was going to say is some of the I'm really curious about some of the like changes to like DPS stuff, because I think it didn't really change much, because I didn't see a lot of people doing as much damage. Just like grenade launchers got like a big buff. I definitely pulled out Anarchy, and that felt pretty fun to use again. So that's always that was nice to just be like, oh yeah, this
3 more reserves.
This works.
Is like close to what it used to be now.
Yeah, and like it was fun. It was just felt good to use again to an extent, because now the ammo is back to where it was more or less, and then so that's nice. Yeah, and just I definitely noticed there was a different grenade launcher I was using too. I think it was one of the like adept grenade launchers I got a while ago, and I definitely you can just dump those way more than you could ever before. And that's just like more fun. So that's cool. So yeah, I'm curious if those will be more useful in certain scenarios going forward. So
we ran Crota over the weekend.
We did do a Crota run. In a group. That was fun.
It was fun because we don't have all of us on all the time. And I got the fucking craziest drop of 34 over soul.
Yeah, you
got the drop. Yeah,
the super drop. That's
so cool.
Which is the catalyst and the gun, but of course I have to kill Crota again to get the gun.
Yeah, I'm in the same spot as you now, where I didn't get that drop, but I got like the last oversoul I needed. So it's just like, and it sucked too because the last 2 oversoul were from killing Crota. So like I got the 2.
Yep, same.
And then you have to do it again.
And then it just pops up the quest being like, defeat Crota. And I'm just looking at Crota's, looking at Crota's dead corpse. And I'm just like, oh, come on.
This guy, man.
Yeah. So
I really
have to do that at some point, but
I really, really appreciated that if you got even like a not challenge mode clear in contest mode, you just got the drop.
Yeah, the exotic,
because like contest mode is like, it's like my shit. I like live for that, like those 2 days. And it's really nice to not have to hunt for that fucking gun.
Yeah.
I still don't have fucking collective obligation. Like it's annoying.
Is that the only one that you don't have?
I think so. Because I got what's the shotgun from Val called?
Conditional finality.
I got that like right around the time I finished that title, but
that's still pretty brutal. That's the only one I don't have.
No, I just still don't have conditional. Which is annoying, but
I think.
Yeah,
I
hope they do that with this next one because I feel like that was like a relatively popular change.
I think they will.
I
think they'll make it
would
48
like
hours again. They'll probably make it 48 hours again too, which I think they did for the last two, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think I at least for this raid for sure. I at least want to be there day one and go in and try and do it. I don't know if I'll be able to do that again. Like I'm going to be in a weird spot in general for this Final Shape release because I plan on going out to at least hoping I can go out to LA to some gaming events this year. So there might be a chance. There might be a weird thing where it's like I'm able to play Final Shape day one and do the campaign and do our stuff, but then like I'm like literally gonna like the next day or two after I'm gonna fly to LA. So I don't know. Like I'll see if depending on when that raid is, which will probably be like a weekend or two after, or maybe I'll be able to get in there time. If not,
I think like timing wise, that's going to be right around the Elden Ring DLC.
That too, yeah. Like June is
3 weeks before.
June is just becoming crazy.
Yeah, I feel like I say this pretty much every time I'm on the show, but I'm pretty excited for that particular contest mode because I think that's the first time
it's
that
going to be crazy.
A lot of the crew that I've talked to, like on my raid team, have been just like, "Yeah, I'm in for the 48. Like, we don't want to take breaks unless we have to.
Yeah,
like,
we're not. We're all in.
Like, we've got to get it done.
I'm playing on the toilet. I bought a PlayStation Portal. Whatever you need me to do.
Exactly. Yeah, that's awesome.
So pretty. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, I'm stressed about it.
Me too.
Try it, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never completed one of those. So
yeah,
the rush that you feel whenever you are like, oh, they're in Last Stand. Oh, we're gonna do it is like nothing else I have ever felt. It's so fucking cool.
Yeah,
it's like
after all that time,
what if a Dark Souls boss? But
but if you spent like 48
and 40 some plus however many hours. So I'm done.
Right.
Sure.
Died the first time. That's time for me.
So yeah, I at least want to be there at day one of that raid because I just want to see. I want to see it and be there, and I'm excited for it.
I want to see that fight. That fight.
Oh, that fight.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Fight. The music's gonna fucking slam. Oh my god,
fucking good.
Yeah, Salvatore was going off on a banger. We know it for sure.
Oh, 100%. Oh, of course he was. I don't think he's ever written a bad song for these games. So
absolutely.
The Rolk fight is already like that music.
The Nezarec fight though, dude. Ooh,
it's very good.
So knowing that those like themes are gonna come back up in that fight more than likely.
Excellent. What if he's just like, fuck it. I grabbed the melody from Hope for the Future.
Oh my god! If it's just like some super dramatic, epic version, orchestrated version of Hope to the Future, incredible. 10 out of 10.
That'd be fucking
out of 10.
sick.
It'd be incredible. It would be incredible. I wouldn't even be mad about that. Frankly, I'd just be like, let's fucking go.
Let's go. Yeah.
I am hopeful for the future. Let's fucking take this motherfucker down. But we'll have to see what that thing. We're
approaching the lead up
2.5 months, I think, at this point, because it's middle of March.
June 4th.
So I really do think we'll talk about the TWAB they revealed this week, and we're gonna be getting a bunch of other streams and updates through these next few weeks for Into the Light. And then I feel like they originally told us they were going to come back in April to talk more, to re-reveal Final Shape, and this leads into April. So I think it definitely will be we're about to start the ride here, so to speak, for that. But yeah, let's get into this TWAB that dropped this week. Like we said, we got a tease of a tease, announcement of announcement for Destiny 2 Into the Light. It is a free-to-play update for everybody, so this will be an update everybody can get April 9th, so that's like the first or second week of April. We're going to get that. They gave us a date for that, and then they said we are getting 3 streams. Each one is the weekly resets that will lead up to April 9th, so the 3 weeks that we're about to go into. The first one, I think, what is that, the 18th or 19th? The 19th, which will be like the following Tuesday of whenever this episode comes out. That'll be the first stream, and we'll get some details about Into the Light there. And then the following Tuesday on that reset, we'll get another stream about whatever that's about. But yeah, we'll have 3 whole streams, and obviously there's also like TWABs and stuff that'll be those weeks too. So a lot of info there. So very curious to see how I guess if this update is substantial enough to have 3 entire streams dedicated to it, it's got to be something.
Yeah.
They gave us also with this TWAB I think there's a pretty sick key art that they gave us that has some. It's really cool. It has some potential like teasers of like things to come, and people are speculating wildly already about like what this thing could mean. But basically, to describe it for the video version of this, I'll have it in the video. But for podcast listeners out there, it's 3 guardians, like ready to fight, and they're basically in a city street of the last city. You can see one of the towers, some kind of tower in the background. I'm sorry, it is probably not the D1 tower, you crazy people. Please relax.
Could you imagine that?
Could you please relax? I know, but I really don't think
we know that we're going there inside the Traveler. Like that's
it's like
starting
that.
destination.
It's like that.
So I don't think they'd do that again.
Yeah. So, but we see the Guardian, like you see the tower in the distance. You see a bunch of pyramid ships in the Earth's sky above that, and then we see like 3 Guardians again in the city streets with hives surrounding them. They're fighting hive, and we have 2 like sentry turrets, Scorpion friendly Scorpion Vanguard
with like the Vanguard
turrets
logo on them.
Yeah, because you can see like one more clearly right next to them. It's like red, but it has like a little Vanguard symbol. But there's like one like deeper in the back, and it's kind of like kind of aimed with the Guardians at all the hive around them. And there's like pyramid structures in the city street, and there's shriekers and witches and stuff all over them.
Shriekers.
So
I hate that.
Yeah, that's fucked up. Yeah,
it's really fucked up that they brought that shit to Earth.
Yeah, like the ogres, wizards, fucking whatever.
Yeah,
put shriekers in the city. The worst thing on the planet.
That's fucked up.
Absolutely.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
So like that obviously has like people definitely are off to the races speculating like, is this finally them doing some kind of proper horde mode or something? Because that's possible. It's that we don't really know.
I don't know.
Because like
likely a 3-player activity. I hate to break it to all.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I'm with you.
That's exactly what I was gonna say, because it is like it's just 3 guardians. So it's kind of weird. It would be kind of surprising to see like a 3-player mode that is just a horde mode with 3 players. But like, hey, who knows? Something else. Now that I'm like blowing up the image here on my end, there's defensive you guys see like there's blue kind of laser like defensive looking like trip wires almost around the arena, or maybe it's like blocking stuff in. I don't know what exactly is happening there with those things. I didn't
see like one's being reflected off of something underneath the leg of the Scorpion turret.
Yeah, and there's like
know what that means.
And there's like one like in like the different kind of platforms around the street. So maybe these are just like defensive. Like maybe it's kind of maybe not like a full on horde mode, but maybe it's like maybe it's more like almost like a tower defense-y kind of thing where you're like setting up defenses for these waves of enemies coming in, and like the turrets and these traps are like things you can like place down while you're fighting them. So that's cool as well. I'm kind of into that idea if it's something like that.
They played with that in the last mission of the Lightfall campaign when you're defending the veil from
and you can like grab those little laser guns and stuff. It's pretty cool. Yeah, and they drop the hammer on them. Hell yeah!
I think
it's also
go ahead.
There's a pyramid structure in the city. On the right side, you can see like some kind of walls of defense or whatever, which is bad.
Yeah, it's not a great time.
It's kind of fucked up. How I'm guessing there'll be some kind of like story element as to why the hive and the pyramid stuff is actually in the city. Maybe Zivu is doing some kind of last stand or fight or something. We'll have to see there, whatever that's about.
I know that like the reason that we're getting all this Into the Light stuff is because of like the delay and that things are largely just kind of on fire over there. I kind of really like this loadout. Like there now feel like with this rollout, like it feels like there is momentum leading into the final shape that I don't think we would have kind of gotten otherwise. And I think that is interesting. Like looking at this stuff kind of reminds me of like the lead up to the end of Season of Arrivals a little bit.
Yeah,
sure.
Same.
Like the idea of just like, I don't know, there's like some stuff that is dropping just right before like the like capital T, capital E, the end, you know, and like building that momentum and like allowing that stuff to happen over like a few weeks period, I think is super interesting. And it like gets me more excited because it feels like, okay, I'm like things are ramping up as like my excitement for this thing is ramping up. And I just think that's super fun.
Yeah, I like that a lot too. I agree with you because like it like like we had that a little bit in season Arrivals and also with like the end of Season of Lost too, where they had that kind of that like mission where you like exhumed the or like removed the worm from Savathun or whatever. Like I know like it was a little like weird with some things aspects of that. I can't remember exactly, but like it was a cool idea to like have this like in the last few weeks kind of have this moment that's like leading us into this, and this I think will definitely kind of fit that more, and I think it's good to have that in the final shape too, right? Because I think getting like a new trailer and getting like a revised thing will be exciting, and we'll get that like some point in April, probably not too soon after this, but to actually have something like you said, like in game to like start building towards and like having it like feel like it's the world is like preparing for this, the game world of Destiny is preparing for that moment as well will like have way more impact, I think. Yeah,
because I'm worried that like if they weren't doing something like this, or like even if, you know, the final shape just didn't get delayed, like it would have just been kind of the same type of thing where it's like, all right, there's a mission like the Tuesday before the DLC comes out, and there's a cutscene, and then that's kind of it.
Yeah,
and then that's all it is. There was just like kind of like nothing in between the season story ending and the cutscene, and like this feels like a way, at least like stakes wise, to like really kind of like ramp up all of it. It's I think really smart, even though like I think it was kind of born out of necessity a little bit.
Yeah. Right. It definitely was not the original plan. Probably a few months ago. Some more. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say like Witchgreen is probably the best like campaign that they've done, and that had a 6-month delay as well.
Yeah, totally.
And I think that only helped it, and the reason everyone talks about that campaign so highly is because they had time to make it great. So
yeah, for sure, absolutely. Some other cool details that pop out is like you can see the three classes, the Titan Hunter and Warlock all have like basically sort of like remixed armor from year 1 Destiny 2 that I think looks really cool. I kind of really like the kind of the vibe they're going for with those. Like I like
OG
that
colors.
Yeah, like OG colors, and like I like the Hunter in the center, looks cool, and like all three of them look neat. And then some very keen eyes noticed some of the weapons in their hands, particularly the Hunter front and center has what looks to be Midnight Coup, which is the hand cannon from the Leviathan raid. And then also the Warlock to their next to them looks to have a pulse rifle that looks very similar to Blast Furnace, the Black Armory pulse rifle, my beloved Black Armory pulse rifle.
My sweet beloved.
My sweet beloved. And the Titan has like some kind of like a Wayframe looking sword. I don't know if that's supposed to be the Slammer or if that's just like that could be a new one.
It looks like just Falling Guillotine.
Honestly. Could be like a new one. A new one of those or something like that.
I mean, that's fine. That sword is tight as hell.
Yeah, it's great. I would totally be down for another one of those swords. So yeah, it's not, again, like particularly you can see it more on the Blast Furnace that it's not the same like color it's not like the black and red of Black Armory, so it looks like they could potentially be like they could be like essentially those weapons, but they're like a new, revised, updated versions of them, rather than not just being the one for one versions of those, or at least they're using like the models of those weapons, so they'll probably be very similar overall.
Yeah. I wonder if they're gonna do some sort of like in-universe story thing about those specifically, because I know like 801 is still a little hesitant to work with the Guardians, and so I wonder if this maybe is like a sign that her character is just like, oh shit's bad, there's a shrieker outside my window, do you want a gun?
Here's
gun.
Here's some better shit.
Yeah
I'm curious about that too, and especially because like you know they have like showing all this stuff clearly to tease it, and they're showing these weapons, and they have that kind of like, it obviously could just be for like effect and like a cool look, but like the weapons have like a glowing light glow effect on them themselves, and it makes me think that's like a potentially like showing them being like, these are like light forged or like light infused weapons potentially, and maybe that's how they like call it back to like, these are like they are technically Midnight Coup, but it could be like light forged Midnight Coup, and it makes it like, you know, slightly different and being its own thing through this thing.
I think the sword actually has just procced Memento Mori.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah,
everything just has Memento Mori. You're right.
Yeah,
you're totally right.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I you know, just again, all speculation, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I like that idea though.
Yeah, I think that'd be a cool idea to like just like differentiate them, because otherwise like people will just be like, if they give us like basically a gun that looks like Midnight Coup and don't do a little bit more with it, and let people just go like, why didn't you just give me Midnight Coup, Bungie? Shit, your shit game.
Dude, could you imagine how
game.
fucking insane all of the Black Armory weapons would have been if Origin traits existed then?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
81 comes up to us like, have you heard of this thing called Origin perks? Girl, let's go.
Yeah, let's fucking go.
I like that we don't have to wait very long to hear a lot more about this.
Yeah, same.
Because
only a few more days.
They're just like, hey, what y'all doing Tuesday? Y'all free? What's up?
Yeah, we're talking about this shit.
I could hang, you know.
5 days is the perfect tease window.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's great for me, you know?
Yeah. It's considering we're like going to be getting guaranteed stuff for the next 3 weeks too, because they're going to be doing a stream each week talking about that stuff. They might be even more details for certain things in the TWABs alongside them that week. So like, yeah, probably definitely a lot of info. Again, it, definitely a little bit more substantive than potentially than I think people were thinking, just because like they got to do 3 streams. Like, I guess they didn't say how long the streams were. They could just be like 10-15 minute streams and be like, look, we're in the tower, this shit's crazy anyway, all right, bye. Like, you know, who knows. Like, I don't think they gave that much specific info on like how long the streams are or whatever. So who knows?
I feel like they're going to be, at least like my gut is telling me, I feel like they're going to be at least like decently packed with stuff.
Yeah.
Like, not on like a Bungie showcase level kind of a thing, but like, I don't know. If anything, the fact that so many people do like digital showcases instead of like big like stage presentations for games now has made me be like, no, 15 minutes is kind of a lot of time, actually.
Yeah, they could talk. They could talk about a lot.
Show a lot of shit in there. So I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, and they totally could like have the streams be very focused, where it's like, all right, on this stream's going to be the weapons stream. Like, here, and we're going to show you some weapons and why these matter, and maybe like some perks on them.
I imagine
this is
probably going to be one, because they also mentioned in the blog post like, yeah, we got like big sandbox changes and shit coming up too, so I wonder if that's going to be like factored into that a little bit, or if they just kind of hold on to that for like, here's the TWAB, like people watching the stream, you're largely just going to get people who care about new stuff, not so much as into the like, oh, pulse rifles do 0.06% more damage. Like, yeah,
we increased the zone scalar zoom times 0.45 on this.
The moment I read the word scalar in any of those, I do just tune out.
Yep.
Like, I'm happy that's there for people that really love it, but I just can't do it.
That's my absolute shit.
I'm so happy for you.
but yeah, cool. Yeah, again, cool little tease. And like you said, I'm glad we don't have to wait super long for it either. They can just be like, "Yep, here it is. Here's what you can expect from the updates to this," and then this will take us into April to that Into Light update on April 9th, and then again they said they're going to re-reveal Final Shape in April, so I would not be surprised if like even potentially even the following week after that they just go right into like here's the trailer or some kind of other update for the teaser
or just like
for the Final Shape
on April 9th. They're just like, fuck it, here you go. Like, all right,
here's a bunch of shit.
Cool, great.
Yeah, and just go crazy with it.
That'd be all right.
Yeah. So yeah,
I think it's definitely possible, but they might tease it out a bit more just to make it through May.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, excited nonetheless. Other than that, the TWAB did talk about a little bit. That again, there's not a ton of details, but this might be something they maybe talk about. This probably feels like a thing that they'll go into bigger detail in a later TWAB. But they're basically going to be making more enhanceable weapon traits, more obtainable across the board on more weapons. So they said this will be a thing that arrives in the Final Shape. So again, it does kind of feel like a thing they could potentially do to be like one of those soft sunsetting tactics they do sometimes when new expansion shows up. They like do something cool and it's like, here, look at this thing your weapons can do now. So maybe get rid of all that old, get rid of that old shit and get the new shit. Come on, please. It's really hard making new guns all the time. Please.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, as you know, craftable weapons can get enhanced perks. This is basically going to allow non-craftable weapons to also get enhanced perks. They didn't go into details of how that'll work exactly. I'm assuming it'll just be some like currency exchanges or something, more or less.
I assume it's just going to be how the master mode Brood of Nightmares. And
that would make sense.
Yeah. But yeah, but they've stated in here that like they're gonna talk about that closer to the Final Shape because that's would be a thing that happens with that. But there'll be a bunch of weapons they outlined here that'll retroactively already be able to be enhanced when the Final Shape drops. That includes all the weapons they released essentially with the March update with Guardian Games. So the new Trial stuff, Iron Banner, Nightfall, the 3 Guardian Games weapons, and all of the updated Prophecy guns. You'll be able to jump into Final Shape day 1 and give all those guns enhanced versions of the perks they have. So that's cool.
One of those rolls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. And I'm sure whatever the weapons come with Into the Light will probably also be able to do that as well, I would imagine.
Sure. Yeah.
Since so we'll get some new weapons with that, of course. And then, yeah.
It's interesting because they don't specify if the Nightfall and Trials weapons need to be adept for them to be enhanced.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't
just assume.
I don't think they will. Versions. I think it will be all versions because, I mean, you can craftable weapons aren't adept and can get enhanced perks, right? So it makes sense if you can just
only enhanceable guns before this, right? So
right.
It's again the rules are changing and shifting, so we got to keep up with them.
Yeah. So it seems it seems just like a way to a lot of people there's a lot of people who are ho-hum about crafting, although I personally like crafting in the game, but I know there are people who are they want the chase, a little bit more of the chase in the game, and I think this will be a way for them to bring some of that back a little bit because it'll make the world drops or these drops that come from these Nightfall playlists matter, I guess, quote unquote, matter a little bit more because it's like, oh, not only can I get that new Nightfall Adept weapon from a Grandmaster, I'll also be able to enhance its perks when I get that roll. So now I really do actually want to try and farm out those rolls or, save up Nightfall ciphers to get the drops from this to then get the roll I really want. And then I can go and then I can enhance that once I have the roll I want. So, I'm cool with that. Why not?
Yeah, I think that's fine. I assume this is just going to broaden to all guns at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
It seems like that's what this is indicating. And maybe they want to test it with a pool of weapons first, and that's why these are getting picked for that.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's back end reasons for it as well, but
Yeah.
I mean, I guess at some point you love your drop of something and you want to put a different barreled perk on it, you'll be able to do that someday and enhance its perks and live your truth. So
Finally.
I think that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
More player agency for sure. I think people will like. But yeah, that's cool. But yeah, that's largely it from the TWAB. Again, we have this It's a Light stuff. I'm more curious than I thought I'd be about this stuff now than I thought I was.
Same,
if it's
actually.
Although I am kind of with you, I thought a lot of people are hoping for the Horde mode. I think it might not be that, but I think like some kind of maybe 3-player tower defensey thing, or like honestly, I would love it to just be like new story content personally, where it's like we're like, over like, they're going to show us these 3 weeks, but then when it hits April 9th, give us like a new weekly story thing to kind of do. Maybe probably not. It probably wouldn't go obviously all the way to the final shape, but maybe like give us like a couple weeks of like doing some kind of story thing of like why are the Hive in the last city and doing this stuff, and what is all this pyramid ship, like that seems like a pretty big deal.
Yeah,
and it seems like a pretty big deal. So if it were just like, I feel like it would be kind of weird to just be a Horde mode, especially with the idea of like this would only be I don't think it would I don't know if this would be going away post final shape necessarily. I guess we don't know that. They could just maybe have it be a thing that's like tied into the final shape and just continue on. But yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work exactly. So we'll just have to see. We'll have to wait a few more days.
Yeah, I guess we will hopefully find out Tuesday.
Tuesday. But yeah, I think, unless there's not much else to talk about, that was a quick and breezy episode of the
a quick
Helm to Tower podcast. I mean it's quick. That's exactly what I was gonna say. It's quick.
I think this is one of the shorter ones I've been on, at least.
Yes.
So,
yeah. Because there's still some cool stuff to talk about. I don't know, like we kind of all the mid-season stuff was like fine overall. I think we all said our pieces about what we thought about that stuff. So
I was just hyped about getting 34 over Soul drop. That's all.
yeah. Getting Necrocasm.
Destiny for me.
I'm
if
so
I
happy
actually
for
had
you.
luck.
Yeah. That was pretty fun. That was a fun run. Yeah, happy to.
That was a very fun run.
finally get right to Crota. Oh, of course. Oh my god, I can't believe we didn't bring up that they fucking put a gritty emote in Destiny 2.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go, fucking baby. Gritty. The gritty is alive and well. Look, I get it. Like, people were. I honestly found it very funny because I saw people posting TikToks of like, this is really a gritty what, and all the comments were calling it the McGriddle or whatever.
That's very funny.
which is very funny.
It is kind of a bootleg. I get it.
Yeah.
But also, whatever, I'll take it.
Perfect.
I'll take it,
I'll
and
take
like,
it.
like Bungie is not Bungie is not Epic Games Fortnite where they can like perfectly capture a thing and probably have so much mountains of money to like immediately get away with it. Like, I think like they probably tried to make it more distinct, and like because of how emotes work in Destiny, where like, they don't really have a lot of actual like you can move while doing them. They probably just made whatever worked best for them. I will take, again, like you said, I will take it. It's still fun to do.
It's so funny.
It's still fun to do.
It's good every time.
It's good every time.
So funny,
all three of us standing in front of Crota as he summons, fucking grittying. We'll never get old to me.
I took off the T-pose in my loadout for that, and I have not looked back.
Yeah,
that's how
pretty much.
It is.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah, it's incredible. Best $5 I have ever spent.
Pretty much. Agreed. Great addition to the game.
Thank you, Bungie.
Alongside the skimmer and all that as well.
No, they should let you do both at the same time.
Yeah,
you should be able to emote on the skimmer. That'd be fun.
That would be on your skimmer. Yeah,
that would be pretty awesome. I would be down with that.
Seeing someone crude nasty, just doing that,
doing the gritty on
just
him.
like, and then your game crashes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like a known issue with the fucking
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause it's
theirs
skiller.
is fine, but yours is not. Yeah.
Yeah, the game just can't handle that shit. It's like holy shit.
Mhm.
Can't believe that person just stunned it on you like that and just crash.
Yeah, it actually, it was just so embarrassed for you that it just quit working. So,
Oh God, that'd be amazing. I love that. But yeah, thanks Cam for joining us as always.
yeah, absolutely happy to be here.
Happy to be here. Yeah, happy to have you here. And
Anytime.
well, yeah, we'll probably
I'm
get
down.
you on to talk about more of this stuff soon with Into the Light and maybe
that's fine with me. I ain't got shit going on.
final shape. So we'll figure it out. But yeah, thanks everybody as always for watching here on youtube.com/Helm to Tower or listen on podcast services. Appreciate it. I know we've kind of had the dry spell like I've talked about it on before on previous episodes of like, it's not a lot to talk about in the world of Destiny, but now that we're finally
coming out of it,
we're making our way out of it. It seems like we're getting some weekly news, so we'll definitely be back with some more regular episodes and hopefully be at least weekly again for a little while here. We'll figure it out as we get news and stuff for all that. But thank you as always, everyone. See you next time. Bye.
bye.
Eh,